Okay, this is the third lecture on 2.4. Find the number of yards of fencing needed to enclose a garden that is 10.5 yards long and 4.25 yards wide. So up at the initial part of the problem, they tell us we're dealing with a rectangle. So here's my rectangle. I know it's 10.5 yards long and 4.25 yards wide. Well, if you don't know the formula for a rectangle, look on page 110 or 111 in your e-text. But the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So the length is 10.5 and the width is 4.25. Doing my multiplication, 2 times 10.5 is 21. 2 times 4.25 is 8.5, and 21 plus 8.5 is 29.5, yards of fencing needed. What's the better buy? A Mama Da Vinci's pizza parlor, a 16-inch pizza, costs $14.99. A 12-inch pizza costs $9.99. Which one's your better buy? Well, first you want to find the area, which is pi r squared, of each circle. Remember, r is your radius, or that's also half. So if I have a 16-inch pizza, half of that, or my radius, would be 8. So here we have the 16-inch, and here we have the 12-inch, okay? So the area is pi times 8 squared, or what is pi times 8 squared? It's 201.06. So we're just going to round it to 201. Okay, for your 12-inch, it's pi, and half of your 12 would be 6 squared, and pi times 6 squared would be approximately 113. So to find out which the better buy, you take the cost and divide it by the area. The cost and divide it by the area. This is going to tell us how much the pizza cost for a square inch. Okay, and they've got to be in the same units. So 14.99 divided by 20 gives us about 0.746. That's how much a square inch of that pizza cost, okay? 9.99 divided by 113 is like, nope, I forgot the 0 on this, I think. Hang on. 0.088. I believe this was 0.0 in front of that 7. Yes. My apologies. I got to get that 0 in there. So, would you rather pay like 8.8 cents or 7.5 cents per inch, square inch? So this one is your better buy because it costs less per square inch. Okay, the last thing we're going to do in here is just solve equations for variables. Okay. So in other words, this equation is solved for I, but I want to solve it for t. So to get t by itself, I need to move the p and the r. Excuse me. Since the p and the r are multiplied, I divide both sides by pr and on the right, they cancel. So I have T equals I over PR, and you're done. One more. P equals okay, I want to solve this equation for W. So when I look, the first thing I notice is my 2L doesn't have a W in it. Goodness. It's a positive 2L. So to move it to the other side, I subtract it. So I have P minus 2L equals 2W. Remember, if there's no operation between, this is implied multiplication. So to move that 2, I divide. So W equals P minus 2L over 2. In my math lab, be very careful. If the letter that they're having you solve for or work with is a capital, you have to keep it a capital. If it's lowercase, you have to keep it lowercase or it will count it wrong. That ends our lecture for 2.4.